going to do a short Q&A right now before we prepare for the next screening, the encore screening. So thanks a lot. Great crowd. What'd you think of that?
I'll give it a golf clap.
I've seen about 8 of these now. By this point, I just sit and stare at you guys. I sit there, you can feel me, I'm just kind of watching you. It's so creepy. If it wasn't for all the energy in the room, I'd be so sick of looking at this movie by now. We must have seen it like 1,000 times. Not my actually, just kind of. Yeah, so that's great. That always makes it fun to keep seeing it again with a live audience. Thank you, especially you. You made it fun. Triforce of wisdom. Cool. So yeah, let's see. How much? A little bit of time here. So who's got a break one time? Yeah. Who's bilingual? Who's bilingual? Bam. Red shirt. Flash. Boom. Cool. Yep. Next question. Just kidding, you're cool.
Spelling of the cartridges. I mean,
Oh yeah.
Basically, I realized, you had like a whole bunch of other games, like War Duty,
Whatever wasn't the real game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean,
It was a typo.
Even though
It was a typo.
Names
Yeah.
credits, was the spelling of ET on the cartridges made, so to avoid lawsuits?
Basically, yes, but it's a complicated story. We'll have a longer version probably on the DVD commentary and stuff, but let me give you the quickest version possible. That you can see, we had a lot of fun changing names in it, so it was actually fun to do all that, but everything with the movie was cleared. Everything was properly cleared. We had legal consultants and everything on it, and basically they said that you have to get everything cleared when it's a feature film, and it's a weird kind of blurry line. Nobody's ever done a game critique in a feature film before, where it's a narrative film. It's basically something nobody had the answer to, but nobody could tell us yes. And be like, So basically, we went to Atari, and to begin with, Atari is hard to get in touch with. They're better now, actually, because they've changed ownership so many times over the years.
I think they bankrupted in the midst of us trying to work with them.
They did. So we had to go through everything all over again. In the middle of shooting, they changed ownership again. So anyway, we finally did get through, and we cleared everything in the movie, the Atari console, the joysticks, everything in the movie that's Atari, but they couldn't clear ET because back in the day, they said that whenever they made a movie-based game, the rights would go back to the studio that made the movie, and Atari didn't even own their own game, basically. So basically then it was like, okay, so how can we get in touch with the studio now? And then we did, and then they were like, just a really quick one-sentence reply was just like, we don't know if Mr. Spielberg would be interested. And that was it. So it was like, all right, what do you do now? And we love Spielberg, and we think he would love this movie. But what do you
I don't think they even showed it to him.
No, I mean, it was something like, how would he even have time? Anyway, that's a good question, thanks. Yep. Hey, right here? Yeah. Hey.
I just want to say that I love the cameos in the movie.
Cool.
Especially Andre left and also Doug Walker.
The one in the middle.
Cameo, or did they call you first?
There's a lot of people we thought of for cameos, but at a certain point it was like, how many can we fit in the movie? But yeah, we definitely wanted to get Doug in there, and I was in the middle of shooting when we finished shooting, and then I drove across the country. From driving through Chicago, I'm stopping by Doug's house. I'm like, hey, you're gonna be in a cameo, so basically, so everybody.
That's called coming to him.
Yeah. Well,
is this like an iron? What are you doing here?
I guess I forget really who brought the idea up first, but
Isn't Blackbird awesome? Great.
it was
He's
fun.
like the master of reaction shots.
Yeah, like it's like, oh, now, like you think he's really going to not buy the game, and he's like, well, now I have to buy it. So it's really funny. Plot twist. Love the reactions. Yeah. So we got A right here.
What is the sequel?
Oh God. Oh yeah, asking when's the sequel? That's like asking you just have a kid, and it's like asking when you're gonna have a second child. It's too early. Not yet. The ideas are there, but it is possible. But we're not going to close the door entirely. But right now, at the moment, the answer is no. let me figure it out first before figure out how to not spend 8 years on making a movie.
In 8 more years, we're gonna do Angry Video Game Nerd Movie 2. I can't believe it's McButter.
Oh, it's totally Area 51. It's totally fictional. Well, there is a real base there, yeah. But no, it's one of the, like we said in the movie, it is one of the highest guarded places in the world. So
They made us say that. We shot in Area 51.
we shot in Area 51. No, movie magic. Hey, you right there. Foxhound shirt.
I was actually wondering, you said E.T. wasn't the worst game ever. How would you compare that to Jekyll and Hyde?
Jekyll and Hyde's way worse. Although I think Howard Scott Warshaw would prefer we keep it. E.T. is the worst game of all time.
How about another female? There are no more females.
Is that?
What is going to be your next review?
Well, I can't spoil it yet, but there'll be more though.
I would really want someone from the balcony. Yeah.
What was the craziest day of shooting?
The craziest day of shooting.
It was definitely the night for me. It's different for everyone.
Yeah.
For me, it was the night with the spaceship. We just really, Time Winters, who was Xander, he walked up to me and was like, Kevin, I'm just going to stick around. I know I'm wrapped, but I want to see how you're going to shoot Close Encounters of the Third Kind in one night.
And there was no spaceship.
Yeah, big time. So that was like that was definitely 4 a.m. and we were all like super exhausted. And it was like, for some reason, we saved the hardest thing for last. And that was the toughest thing for me. What would you say?
Now that was the toughest night, I think, but then there was the toughest day, which I think it's comparable. It's like the day we thought would have been the simplest was one of the last days of shooting. It was actually the last day with a large crew, which was day 27. Yeah, day 27, the control room. And that's the scene where Dark Onward's interrogating me, and I'm tied up in the chair the whole scene. Everybody was so exhausted. You'd think it would be simple because it was just dialogue, but then we had these effect shots of when he gets his arm cut off in the door, and we were trying to shoot the missile that day. We had an actual Tony Stark missile on set from Iron Man. They got it from the prop house, and we didn't get to shoot it. And we were just so behind schedule that day. And I remember just tied up in that chair, like falling asleep, like, no, this is not good, this is not good.
You saw actual sweat on like James and the general's face. It was just hot as shit. It wasn't makeup. We didn't spritz anyone down.
My eyes are all like bloodshot, and you can see the close-ups. But I think it was my best performance because it was real.
Yeah.
And I remember Dark Onward, Stephen Mendel, he was the voice of Splinter on Ninja Turtles: The Next Mutation. And I remember he brought it up to me while I was in the chair when he realized I was having a good time. Like I was having a hard time. He was trying to lift up my spirits, and he was just like, I was Splinter on Ninja Turtles: Next Mutation, and I was like, Splinter's talking to me. Splinter's coaching me through the rest of the shoot. You must be strong, my son. And that got us through the rest of the day.
It was that way. He was always there to like give you that like Yoda advice. Whoa, wow. People have been thinking a lot. In the back! In the back.
I have a more personal question. Throughout all of your videos, with the games you haven't beat, is there one game that you wish you could go back and beat?
A game I wish I could go back That's a personal question.
I heard someone say Ninja Gaiden.
About beating it.
Masturbating.
I think, Ninja Gaiden, we both tried that and we couldn't do it. He's the ninja.
We took speed. To try to beat it.
I think that's
Congratulations, yeah. That's a hard game.
I've beaten Castlevania 3.
Oh, get
Oh,
over
wow.
yourself.
That's a hard one, too. Okay, let's see. This is the hardest part for me.
Yeah.
So I love all of you. Right there, Sonic. Oh yeah. We should just release what we made. And just expand it into a game. Hey, right here, it looks good. Howard Scott Warshaw, he was great to work with. It was awesome. He's a therapist now. I gave me his card. He's like, it looks like you've been through a lot. Here's my card. So it all started when I was a kid and I played this game where you're falling down pits and everything. No, he was awesome, and if you've seen Once Upon Atari and all the Atari documentaries and everything, and he's in the Atari Game Over documentary coming up, so he has lots of stories that he tells in those. And I knew from Once Upon Atari that he had a sense of humor and that he was into filmmaking and stuff. So, because when we wrote him into the movie, we were like, well, how do we even know if he wants to do it or anything? Because we never met the guy. But then, we sent him the script and we talked to him, and he was into it and he worked it out, and it was great. And he said a lot of really kind stuff to us on set and everything. So,
Wasn't he so good? It gives me the chills. Comes up.
yeah.
Oh man.
Help the game. You got a game. You got a game.
Where did the idea for the alien come from? The green guy.
The green guy. It came from the game itself. It came from Area 51. There's actually an alien that lives in there. You have another question? What at a time, bro? No, the design. The design, the pixely sprite. Like, it looks like when he's stretching his neck that's his mouth. So we just ran with it. Then he floats,